Dear brothers, sisters, welcome back to my channel, to our channel. I'm Sagy of Conscious Creations, here at your service. Thank you so much for your comments, for your likes, for your subscribes. The channel is continuing to gain momentum thanks of you. See it as that when each and every one of you is putting a focus and an energy and an intent into anything in life, we help create it. We help keep it growing up, right? It's anything like in nature, anything that grows up needs energy, needs the water of life, the substance, the air, and the sunlight, or the energy that comes from all of those elements, so it can grow and become bigger and expand and exponent its life. So thank you so much for putting your intent in these videos and in the channel. It helps me grow, it helps us grow, it helps the communication and the connection. And the video today comes very much directly from you guys, and the comment or the request for that I will speak about manifestation. So there's a lot to speak in each topic, you know, if it's twin flames, manifestations, relationship in general, creativity. There's so much to say, and I will start and I will revisit it in other videos. I'll try to keep it coherent also between the videos so you guys can follow. You're welcome at any point to leave a comment asking a direct question or asking me to expand on something. This brings us into momentum. It creates a stronger connection between us, a bridge, a neuron bridge. So what is manifestation, first of all? Manifest, right? This is something that it's a magna carta. It's a general idea that I bring out there, and I'm saying this is what I believe and this is what I'm committing to. So there's something behind that already, and when we touch on what's behind that, let's speak for a second about the different forces in life, right? So we have mentioned that there's the seed, there is the unity, there is source, and the source has split it into so many times already, but it always starts with one split and then the next and then the next. It's exponential. It starts as a seed and it's splitting itself exponentially. So you can look at it from the bigger vision and see how it creates itself, and it's expanding or exploding or imploding at a speed and a variety that is beyond our understanding, especially of time and space. But when we zoom into it and when we focus, then we can see the linear structure of it, right? So the linear structure is masculine, and the bigger picture, or the space of it, is, you can say, feminine. The feminine is the space, the time, linearity of time is masculine. And both exist at the same time, for this is the very first split. The very first split is to the two energies, the infinite energy and the transitional energy, the masculine and the feminine, the passive and the active, the space and the time. So, and in that encapsulates as well these two differences, you could say, or the two themes, manifestation and creation, right? Creation is more active, manifestation is more passive, meaning when I am manifesting something, I am creating a space for it to happen. I'm summoning something into my life, and then I can create something out of it. When I have things, physical things, or emotions, or things that I can play with, that I can force a manipulation on, don't take it as negative, then I can create something. But I need something tangible or something that I can focus on to create it. And for it to happen, I have to summon it into my existence, into my life. I bring it from outside of myself. Of course, it always starts, it's inside and outside. It's that playing of inner and outer. And manifestation is creating a space inside of me to allow something to come in or to be expressed, so I can touch it, see it, focus on it, and then create something out of it. So let's look deeper into it. As we said, manifestation has the negative power to it, the feminine, the intuitive creation, the intuitive side of creation. I am summoning something out of my willpower, out of my passions. I feel or I know that I want something, so I am creating it, first of all, as an idea, right? As a perception, as something that is not there yet, but it's inside of me. I'm calling it forth. I'm actually bringing it from inside, throwing it on the outside, and then summoning it into my space, into my energetical space, into my reality, so I can recognize it as such. And recognition is a very important part of manifestation. For so often we wish for things, but we don't have the clarity to really see that this is what we want. And when it comes to our life, it's not necessarily coming in the very precise way we imagine that, and therefore we are not recognizing it as such. So we dismiss it or ignore it. We are not conscious of it. We are not aware of it. And then it just continues out of our reality without us having the ability to bring that potential, to use it, to manipulate it, or to use our creative force on it and to change it into something that we can do. And this is where creation comes from, is recognizing the manifestation power, recognizing the potential in something, and then playing with it, engaging with it. It's very important. So when I throw Yahav auf Hebrew, when I throw my will of having something, my wishful thinking on something, I'm creating a space for it to come into my world. For if I'm not creating that space, it cannot penetrate, right? So this is why it's negative. This is why it's feminine. I'm creating a space and I'm inviting a penetration. I'm inviting something masculine to come into my space. So I'm inviting first I need to create that space. I need to realize that this is something that I want. Let's say a relationship. Let's say that I would like to have somebody in my life, a lover, a partner. Yeah? Somebody that I can create with, somebody that I can interchange, something that I can exchange and together create something bigger, connect with. So I need to create that space. I need to bring it out of myself, that gut feeling that there's something missing in my life. This is again negativity, right? When something is missing, when I feel that something is missing, it's a minus, it's a negativity, it's something that I feel that I don't have. So I need to create a space for it, right? So we are creating a space, an energetical space for it to come into our lives. And then we need to recognize it as such, because it might not come in the form that we put out there. Actually, the less focused that I am on how this manifestation should look like, then it can easily manifest in my space. So what I mean is that if I'm focused on something very specific, then I will only be able to recognize it as such. For example, if I'm focusing on the creation of a red Ferrari, then I would not recognize any means of transportation coming into my life as my own creation, as my own manifestation. Because I am looking for that red Ferrari. I'm waiting it to manifest, or I am actively going after it, meaning looking in the internet about red Ferraris, learning about them, starting to make the money, checking where I can get one, right? That's a way of creating something very specific. You're focusing on a target and you are pulling it into you, also making the steps in order to create exactly that red Ferrari. However, if I understand that it's not necessarily about it being red or it being a Ferrari, it's about a quick meaning of transportation. This is the essence of it. I would like to have a transportation experience in my life, or tool of transportation, and I want it to be quick, strong, and maybe even fancy. So these are the elements that I am manifesting, and then they might come in a different version than a red Ferrari. So I need to recognize them as such. And why am I saying it? Because if the wish inside is for a relationship, then it doesn't need to be manifested in a woman in a red dress, for example, if you are a man, as an equivalent to the red Ferrari, right? I am looking for a relationship. I am looking to connect with another person on a very deep level. So I'm creating that space for it, however it looks like, to come into my space, and then I need to recognize it as such. When it comes into my space, into my sphere, and it offers to interact with me, I need to recognize it as such. For if I'm not recognizing it, if I'm not showing that I'm stepping into it with awareness, with consciousness, it would leave my space of experience. It would leave my reality. So this is the very first step of manifesting something, is creating that space. Recognizing that there is a wish inside of me, something that I would like to have in my life. And then, just like the spider, building that web, patiently waiting for it by non-waiting. Duality. And then when it's there, recognizing it as such. When the spider builds a web, it's not wishing for a very typical fly to be caught in it. It's building the web for whatever bug that transports itself in the air to be caught in it. And when something is being caught in it, the spider cocoons it. It's not saying, oh, it's not a fly, so the spider will set it free. It's not doing that. It's recognizing whatever is being caught in it as that force of attraction being manifested. That's the first way or part of manifestation, and then come the active role, which is to do something with it, to interact with it. And this is where the creation becomes masculine, active, from passive to active. And those forces continue to intermingle in themselves. Yeah. This is the very first video about manifestation. There will come more about that. You are invited to continue writing in the comments messages about what it is that you would like to know specifically, what it is that you would like me to speak about. Please check our website, consciouscreations.com. That's creations with a K. It's also up there in the name of this video channel. There's also information over there. There are also meditations of mine about that over the website you can reach. Check it out, stay connected, and enjoy life.